I am now joined by Michelle McKinley. She is an associate professor of law at the University of Oregon. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, we are happy to have you. You study Latin America and post-genocidal communities. So what is your area specifically of study?
Well, I have a lot of areas, but in particular, what you're talking about is a research project that I have going on in Guatemala looking at the war crimes process after the civil war that took more than 200,000 people's lives in the 1980s. And what we're trying to do in looking at the ways that international criminal law is being incorporated into Guatemalan domestic law, because these are war criminals that are being brought to trial in Guatemala. And they're not going to The Hague, they're not going to another forum. These are processes that are taking place in country.
Is it hard to teach Guatemalan people about this international law and to get them to accept it?
You mean the judges?
Yes, and the people that take part in the trials.
Well, the judiciary, for the most part, has been very active in incorporating inter-American law, specifically the laws of human rights. So that's not a very steep learning curve. The learning curve is more on the side of the jurisprudence that came out of the tribunals in Rwanda and Kosovo, Bosnia. So those are where we're having issues. But for the most part, I mean, genocide is a domestic crime in Guatemala. So that is not, that hasn't proven to be the challenge.
Why are you so passionate about this topic?
Well, I'm really passionate about the topic because I don't only teach international criminal law, I really am convinced that if you do wrong things, you at some point should be brought to justice, and you should be accountable to the survivors and the victims, the families of the victims. So I'm passionate about that, but I'm passionate about Latin America in general. I first went to Latin America over 2 decades ago when I was a graduate student, and have been going back, every year. When I graduated law school, I founded an NGO and I started working in Peru, and I have always gone back. And it's a country, it's a region of the world that draws my attention, consumes my intellectual interests, and I can talk forever. I know we don't have enough time.
I wish we had more time.
But I can talk forever about, food, culture, history, politics, rule of law, all sorts of things.
Well, and now students hearing Eugene can grow from your passion and take your passion and hopefully apply it to not just maybe Guatemala, but other communities that need that help as well.
I am a firm believer that the university should be the place to provide opportunities and spark people's interests, bring together synergies around students who are just curious but not really quite sure how to get there, and to think about, I have 2 interns on the ground right now in Guatemala.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we're about to be cut off, so
right.
I apologize, but thank you so much for being with us
today. That's great.